The Puss in Boots, Part 1. Once upon a time in a small village in France, there lived 3 brothers. Their father, a poor miller, had passed away, leaving them his humble belongings. The eldest brother inherited the mill. The middle brother received the donkey. And the youngest, Jack, was left with nothing but a cat. Jack, disappointed by his meager inheritance, sighed deeply. "What am I supposed to do with a cat?" he muttered, looking at the sleek animal sitting at his feet. "I can neither sell it for much nor use it for work." The cat, however, wasn't just an ordinary feline. His fur gleamed in the sunlight, his eyes sparkled with intelligence. And unbeknownst to Jack, this particular cat had a plan. "Do not despair, master," said the cat in a voice both calm and confident. Jack jumped back, startled. "You can talk?" Jack exclaimed, wide-eyed. "Indeed, I can, and if you trust me, I promise to make you a rich and prosperous man," the cat replied with a knowing grin. "But first, you must get me a pair of boots, a hat, and a bag." Though bewildered by the talking animal, Jack was willing to try anything to change his fortune. With the little money he had left, Jack purchased a fine pair of boots, a feathered hat, and a sturdy bag for the cat. Once dressed in his new attire, the cat looked quite regal and set off into the woods, his tail flicking with purpose. The cat, now known as Puss in Boots, began his grand plan by hunting in the forest. With a few swift movements, he captured a plump rabbit and put it in his bag. He then set off toward the royal palace, where he requested an audience with the king. When he arrived at the palace gates, the guards were amused by the sight of a cat in boots and allowed him entry out of sheer curiosity. In the grand throne room, Puss in Boots bowed low before the king and queen. "Your Majesties," Puss said with great formality, "I bring you a gift from my master, the Marquis of Carabas." He presented the rabbit as though it were a rare treasure. The king, intrigued by the mention of the mysterious Marquis, who he had never heard of, accepted the gift graciously. "Thank you," the king said, "and please express our gratitude to your master." For several weeks, Puss in Boots continued to bring gifts to the royal palace, always presenting them in the name of the Marquis of Carabas. The king and queen became increasingly curious about this generous nobleman and his supposed wealth. Eventually, Puss in Boots' strategy moved to its next phase. End of Part 1. Please watch Part 2 in the next video.